Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another installment of our Silent Hill playthrough series. We're back, watching Joe work his way through what is without a doubt one of the greatest games ever made. We know it's been a while, and we're sorry about that. Unfortunately, Joe ate my capture card, so I had to get a new one, which only allows us to record gameplay by connecting it directly from the PS3 he's playing on to the Chromebook I got from Rutgers.
Did you really have to call me out for eating your capture card? I told you that I thought it was an external hard drive.
Joe, how about you tell everyone why you thought it was a good idea to eat an external hard drive?
Good question, Donald. I would be glad to share my thinking. You see, I figured that if you put a lot of pictures of food on an external hard drive, it might end up tasting like the food in the pictures. So I connected it to Barack's Chromebook, downloaded 40,000 pictures of Lunchables, moved those pictures to the trash can, which I mistakenly believed was the external hard drive, and ate it. When it didn't taste like Lunchables, I realized that I made a mistake somewhere along the way.
Remember, people, only a little over a year ago, this man was essentially the leader of the world.
A troubling thought. Luckily, we are now in much better hands. My body doubles, and I hear he's doing some really interesting things. Speaking of me, something we should do all the time. Weren't there plans to get me on some Resident Evil Village a while back?
Yeah, you told us you were going to speedrun the game on Village of Shadows difficulty.
I did. Well, never mind then. Speedrunning gets boring for someone as skilled as me. I thought we were going to do a real challenge, like playing the game slow and steady on standard or perhaps casual mode.
What's the challenge in that?
You wouldn't understand.
You know, I feel we didn't give the viewers a good chance to see the wonderful design of the school because the two of you were cackling like hens. I guess I have no choice but to go back and do it all over again.
Joe, don't think I wasn't paying attention. I saw you figure out you failed to pick up the picture card during your last time playing this game. It's an embarrassing oversight, something that will haunt you to your dying day. As the good friend I am, I wasn't planning on saying anything, but you're pretending that you have to go back to show off a hallway that looks the same as every other hallway in the school forced my hand.
I've had many chances of ending your time on this earth, Donald, and I've stopped myself each time. Remember that.
Where do you guys think Harry got the red pen he uses to mark the map? Like he didn't pick it up anywhere.
He probably had it on him. Harry's a writer, so it makes sense he'd carry a pen. He wouldn't question a waiter carrying an entire 5-course dinner in his back pocket.
Yeah, but a red pen is more of like a teacher thing than a writer thing.
Sure, but think about his apartment in Silent Hill 3. It's shit. So that shows you that he's not a very successful writer and has probably had to take on additional jobs to pay the bills. Maybe he's working part-time at a community college or potentially even works as an English teacher at a high school, but since he considers himself to really be a writer who just happens to also teach, that's what his occupation is listed as.
Yeah, but on your taxes, don't you list your occupation as your main source of income? If he makes $40K from a teaching job, or since this is the 90s, more like $20K, and he makes maybe 10 additional thousand from his writing, his main job would be teaching.
I don't think the IRS cares what you call yourself as long as you list all your sources of income. Unless you're suggesting that he's teaching under the table or something and that money is untaxed, then I could be on board with that theory.
I can't imagine a school would ever get away with not reporting the income of a teacher.
A shitty, poor school probably could. Like, think of all the schools in the country. Who's checking to see if all those teachers are legit and paid according to the law? You could get away with having a few teachers being officially off the payroll, especially if he's like an electives teacher. Maybe he only teaches like 2 or 3 classes of creative writing a day.
You know, I'm starting to see this theory. Should we write to Konami to get official confirmation?
Now, just put it on the wiki. Someone will see it and ask at a convention or something if it's real for us. Joe, what the fuck are you doing? You're backtracking to get missed items. You're walking out the wrong door. You're turning on the flashlight when you're surrounded by monsters. It's as if I'm watching a geriatric alien play this game.
I am a geriatric alien.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true. Carry on, I guess. And we're back where we started. A wonderful 5-minute detour courtesy of Joe.
Can we not fight like we do in every video? A chaotic YouTube channel will never stand the test of time. We need to be wholesome like Markiplier or the angry video game nerd.
Okay, fine. What's there to talk about? I joined the Book of the Month Club recently. It's like $17 a month. And you get a new book every month. I have one about lesbians coming soon. I hope it's really hot.
The only thing you can think of other than starting a fight is to talk about books? Do you want to bore our viewers?
Barack, a lot of people read, unlike you, it seems. BookTube is huge, and it's not like I'm talking about stupid books. Did you not hear the word lesbians? It's the only topic that appeals to every single demographic. Boys aged 1 to 6, huge fans of lesbians. Women 60 plus, they probably have a lesbian granddaughter or two. And don't even get me started on non-binary people aged 18 to 34. Many of them used to be lesbians themselves before they transitioned.
I can speak for men over the age of 200 million to say lesbians appeal to us too.
Thank you, Joe.
Okay, whatever. Let's just talk about the game then, maybe. It's why we're here.
Joe, get out of the women's bathroom. My body double made a law about that or something, I think.
Sorry, much like real life, the women's bathroom is often the only way you can change floors in a building.
I wonder what motivated the designers to put that detail into the game.
They probably just wanted an excuse to go into the women's bathroom. The Japanese make great games, but they're also a bunch of perverted freaks.
And what was the motivation to have a skinned, hanging corpse in the men's bathroom?
Well, I think that one is self-explanatory.
Fuck. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't have any idea where I need to go. I used to know this game like the back of my hand. Hell, I knocked out a 10-star run easy as pie, but it's been a few years and it's like I'm picking it up again for the first time.
Yeah, I've neglected the classic gems myself. My life has been crazy, and I just don't have the same amount of spare time I did back when I ran the country.
It's nice to have a job you essentially can't be fired from. 2021 to 2024 was packed. But since Inauguration Day, I've just been able to chill.
Shh, I like this cutscene. Cheryl is so cute.
Troubling.
Cheryl!
There's nothing quite like a little girl crying for help.
I think we need to reopen the discussion about you going to church. A little fear of God would go a long way.
And I'll once again bring up my point that a priest is probably not the authority figure to aid Joe with his particular problem.
I disagree. I'm sure he could aid me a lot with my particular problem.
Joe, 2026 is not the year to be messing around with this stuff. The files have got everyone very hot under the collar about it.
If anyone gets too suspicious, you can always just go on a podcast and talk about aliens again.
That didn't work the first time. And even if it did, one of these days, I'm going to get sloppy and reveal the real information.
That's fine. The real information was revealed long ago, remember? And everyone decided it was nonsense. Joe is in the clear with the alien stuff. It's like when a killer confesses to a crime, but they do it so many times in so many different ways. People write it off as bunk, no matter how much evidence there is that it's legit. I wish roofs were more important in daily life.
What do you mean?
Well, roofs are such a staple in media. In anime and manga and stuff, people are always hanging out on roofs to have serious conversations or just chill. But it's not just Japanese media. American action movies use roofs all the time. People do amazing tricks jumping from roof to roof as they're chased by their adversaries. Sitcoms use roofs a lot too. In city-based shows, they are little urban oases to help the characters escape the bustle of the city. In real life, though, not only are roofs unimportant, they're often off limits. Most of the time they're locked or have signs forbidding you to go up there. And why? What does society hate about roofs? It just pisses me off.
I mean, I think it's a safety thing.
So a few bad apples jump off a couple of roofs and it's ruined for everyone?
I don't think it's very empathetic to refer to such people as bad apples.
I do. They ruined a lifetime of roof adventures for myself and many others.
Maybe this is something we've discussed before, but it's ridiculous that you are expected to solve a puzzle like this. Who would possibly know you need to put a ball in a hole, then inspect a different hole, then run some water, then go down to the courtyard to get a key, all while monsters are running around?
No shade to Silent Hill, but it's definitely one of those examples of game designers getting a little desensitized to the enigmatic aspects of their games due to working on them for so long. This is why beta testers are critical to a game's development.
It's not just about confusing stuff. Hard stuff applies here too. The Crash Bandicoot developers have made those games so brutal, especially the time trials, because they play them like maniacs when working on them.
Don't remind me of Crash Bandicoot. That game ruined my perfect platinum trophy record on PlayStation.
I never had a perfect record, and I'll never have one now because there are a few games on there with unobtainable trophies after their online servers shut down.
PlayStation needs to get on that problem. I'm not against online trophies 100%. but there needs to be some sort of patch required of developers if they shut down servers, or even if the game just gets too old and online sort of dies on its own.
PlayStation is so confusing in how they deal with trophies. They require them from games, but they don't check to see if trophies are fair, make sense, or sometimes even if they're obtainable. The names of the games aren't coming to me, but a few exist that have trophies, which would require impossible hours of gameplay to complete or have been bugged since launch.
I'm not a Nintendo fanboy at all, especially with their recent activities, but I think they're avoiding adding any sort of achievement system might be for the best. They're choosing to keep Pandora's box closed, and I can respect that.
I think they don't do it because they can't think of a good name to call them. PlayStation has trophies and Steam and Xbox have achievements. What else is there? Accomplishments, prizes. None of them really sound right.
Kirby Air Ride has the checklist.
Yeah, but like, oh wow, did you complete the platinum checklist for Yakuza 0? It's just lame. Kids would get beat up on the playground for even saying that.
So did Alessa have her time of the month on that chair, and that's why it's bloody?
I'm going to guess the answer is no.
You're probably right, because there are a lot of chairs, and that's a lot of times of the month.
Hey, there's a lot of girls at this school, I'm sure.
We're talking about an elementary school, if any of us have forgotten.
Then it could be the teachers, couldn't it?
I didn't consider the teachers, but it may very well be their time of the month blood.
This is such a strange thing to be fixated on.
I'm a feminist, Barack. Maybe a misogynist like you doesn't care about a woman's body, but some of us support gender diversity.
Should I bring up the locker room talk?
Not unless you want to be a nerd. That was news like a decade ago. It was before we even had Grok. I can't remember how I survived before Grok.
Me neither. I have so many essays and stuff to write for school.
We don't go to school.
What are you talking about? We famously go to school. We went to college, then grad school in Japan. And there's tell we may go to medical school. Or we could go back to high school if that seems like it could be fun.
Ooh, yeah, I'd go back to high school. I never got the chance to be prom king or score a touchdown at the big game.
I feel other people have done the high school thing.
Really? I'd say it was more middle school or elementary school, and we could always do it a bit different. You seem like you'd be a band geek, Barack, and I would naturally be the school bad boy who the principal seems like he doesn't understand until it's revealed the principal was a bad boy himself back in high school.
Donald, was that all off the top of your head, or do you spend hours thinking of random things we could do?
It's a bit of both.
Thank you for this key, Random Corpse. I won't be showing any reverence to your body.
There has to be a wallet or two in those lockers. Harry is a chump to not crack them open and walk away with a fat stack.
He has more important things on his mind.
We've already discussed how poor he is. Maybe if he rifled through some kids' wallets in this game, he wouldn't have ended up in such a shitty apartment in the third game.
I don't think the $14 he'd find in those lockers would change his financial situation much.
See, this is what you poors don't get. Being wealthy is a state of mind. You take any advantage you can of increasing that net worth.
Donald, you begged me for a quarter this morning so you could get a gumball.
And that is 1/4 of my own money I didn't have to spend. Plus, I pulled the old coin on a string bit. It didn't work, though.
Harry is getting some top shelf sloppy right now.
Have any of you ever wondered what it would be like to get trapped in Silent Hill? Like the game itself, and you're like Harry, and you're trying to rescue your daughter. But for whatever reason, you don't realize you're in Silent Hill. Like you don't make the connection to the games, but you're there, and you have to fight all the monsters and stuff and save the town or whatever.
Donald, what the fuck are you talking about?
I've thought about it. It's why I've been hitting the gym. Harry is lucky that he's strapped. I wouldn't take that chance. I want to be able to take on these bad boys with my bare hands like in Silent Hill Origins.
I feel you don't even need to be that strong. Most of the enemies are child-sized. Just go in there kicking, and you'll be fine. The flying ones could be tricky, but your best bet is to run in a zigzag pattern. And I forgot about the dogs, but I always carry a box of Milk-Bone dog treats in my pocket, so I'm fine there. The nurses and doctors are slow, so just be fast, and that's about all the enemies, right?
What about the bosses?
Most of them are bugs. What's the big deal?
You forgot the god you have to fight at the end. How would you deal with that?
Read him some atheist philosophy book, and he'll die out of boredom.
Huh, that's all the things. Pretty good plan.
This is a pretty shitty library. They have 12 books, and they don't even have a manga section.
The librarian should subscribe to the Book of the Month Club. The selection is quite good.
Donald, are you sponsored by the Book of the Month Club or something?
No, but maybe they could be our first sponsor on this channel. MeUndies said no, and even Raid Shadow Legends doesn't want to give us anything. Honey said they'd pay us $20,000 for a 10-second segment, but I have standards when it comes to the companies I endorse.
What about Capital One shopping?
Aren't they just like Honey but made by Capital One?
Yeah, they're Honey's cishet cousin who works in finance.
Wait, if Capital One shopping is cishet, what is Honey?
Honey is a non-binary lesbian.
That makes sense. Does that make Rakuten trans?
No, Rakuten is like that white woman who pretended to be black, but at the same time, like, kind of saved that NAACP chapter, which still is a really weird detail of that story.
I don't know if I believe she was faking. She looked black, and that's like enough for me.
Joe, does the fact that you're an alien who looks like he's human make you a human?
I mean, like, sort of.
First rule of cross-examination school, Barack. Never ask a question you don't know the answer to.
Man, those gray children are moaning like Michelle on our wedding night. Did you guys hear my joke about the gray children?
Yeah, we're on the same Discord call. We heard it.
Then why didn't you laugh?
Oh boy, because it wasn't really funny.
Stop playing, it was hilarious.
No, it wasn't. Marriage is a sacred union, sanctified by God or occasionally an Elvis impersonator if you do it in Vegas. And the wedding night is a very private time for the married couple. It isn't appropriate or funny for a husband to make a joke about it.
Come on, it was just a joke. Lighten up.
Brock, you need to not be so defensive just because you were called out for being disrespectful of your wife.
Joe, you haven't even seen your wife in like 2 years.
That's different. It's a lavender marriage.
Isn't a lavender marriage when two gay people get straight married to hide their sexualities?
Uh-huh.
Hey guys, I have a fun idea.
Is it kissing practice?
No, I figured since our channel began with a Silent Hill tier list, why don't we do a new one right here while Joe is playing? It's maybe the perfect time, and we can throw in the new games while we're at it.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Let me pull up tiermaker.com. I'll keep track of things.
So we're starting with the original Silent Hill first, I guess. Where did we put it last time?
I think it was in A tier, and now is our chance to correct that error by putting it in S. It's the original, the template. It's the reason Silent Hill even exists as a concept, and no game, with the exception of Origins, has even tried to capture its unique atmosphere, instead creating a similar but ultimately different atmosphere.
I'm not going to harp on your inability to pronounce the word atmosphere and just say I don't think any game from the PS1 era can really be S tier. I'm not dying for a remake, like some, but the technology just wasn't there yet, and it shows more and more with every passing year.
Should technological limitations really decide what tier a game gets? Shouldn't what was done with the technology that was available be more important?
Yes, it should, Joe. And if those limitations weren't there, we wouldn't have gotten the iconic Silent Hill fog. Imagine what these games would be like without fog. This game is S tier.
Fine, whatever, but for the record, this isn't an official tier list. It's just us fucking around a little.
I'll concede to that. Donald, next up is your favorite, Silent Hill 2. Wish to start?
Barack, you know I hate this incel game. Fucking James Sunderland could have gotten like 3 women in Silent Hill, but he was focusing on finding his, at best, diseased wife.
Who are the 3 women? I only count 2.
I only count 1.
Look, it's not something he should be proud of, but Silent Hill is lawless. The police and courts and all that don't really apply anymore. It's dog eat dog, and a dog doesn't concern himself with social norms or whether Angela is a 3 or 4 out of 10.
Donald, I wasn't worried about Angela.
Well, anywho, we put this in S last time. No need to reinvent the wheel. On to Silent Hill 3 and a game with a real hot mama of a woman.
At least she's a slightly more age-appropriate minor than Laura. A string of words I feel shame in even saying.
Well, before we move on, can we talk about that twist in the new Silent Hill movie?
Sure, but spoiler alert to everyone. If, for whatever godforsaken reason, you want to see that movie and haven't yet, jump ahead a couple of minutes.
All right, so what the fuck was with that thing where Mary was like also Laura and Angela and like Maria too, I think?
I don't know. It was terrible, though. I didn't hate the movie overall like some. But that ending went way off the rails. And Eddie appears for one scene, then isn't there after that. It didn't make a lick of sense. I know making movies is more complicated than just copying and pasting something. But in many cases, like this one, just copying and pasting the script of Silent Hill 2 with some connecting bits to fill in where the gameplay would have been leaps and bounds better.
Hard agree. Also, why did they change the pillow to a towel for the unaliving scene? Sorry, viewers, I know euphemisms are cringe, but we want to keep the $100 a month we make from monetization.
Maybe the director had an issue with pillows or something. Who was the director, by the way? Anyone famous?
He's the same French asshole who butchered the first Silent Hill movie. Why producers trusted that bumblefuck once again is beyond me. Should we return to Silent Hill 3?
Sure. I like the game, as I'm sure I said last time, but it gets a little tedious in the long apartment building section, and the choice to use another hospital like 2 seemed lazy. And the tank controls really show their clumsiness in that stressful haunted house. Many a 10-star run was lost in those hallowed halls.
That's why you always use one of your allowed saves right before. Instant deaths in games are annoying, but it's all a part of the fun. I've never heard you complaining about the boulders in the Resident Evil remake.
I've complained about the boulders many times.
Don't get me going on those boulders. Talk about a brutal way to lose a no-save run. And if the boulders don't get you, Lisa Trevor decks you off that cliff.
I'll interpret that as Joe saying Silent Hill 3 is peak.
Of course it's peak, but all Silent Hill is peak. Silent Hill 3 is just a little less peak. It led to the slow death of the franchise. B tier.
You know, why are we doing this tier list like this? We should do it another time when it's more organized and I have things to blackmail you two with.
If that's what you want, go ahead and be a baby. Let us know in the comments if you want us to actually get into this tier list.
Yeah, that's maybe for the best. I need to replay the whole series before I can really give fair judgments.
I feel we should at least talk about the new games, though, so our fans don't feel let down.
Yeah, we can do that. So the Silent Hill 2 remake first?
I didn't care for it. I'm fucking old. And my niche is definitely less tactile games. The slowness of old survival horror really scratches that itch, and the Silent Hill 2 remake turns it into a modern action game.
Okay, but what about the world they built? It's beautiful and haunting.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. The hotel in particular blew me away both visually and in being slightly more like the original game's gameplay.
I'll second the hotel. That was some real good work from Team Blooper, but they can all suck my rotting big toe over that abomination of a prison. I want your thoughts on simulator sickness, Barack, since I know you get that.
Yeah, that was the big issue I had with it. There's no reason that a game in 2024 shouldn't have more accessibility controls, like a field of view slider. They argued it wasn't in there because they wanted to make the field of view cramped and therefore scarier or something. But a small artistic decision like that shouldn't take precedence over accessibility, especially when accessibility is just an optional setting that doesn't need to be put on or even made default.
Do we want to talk about the Maria hotness controversy?
I do. All video game characters should be so hot that it's physically uncomfortable to look at them. And we were let down here.
If there is an actual issue, it's not that Maria or other characters aren't hot. It's that they're deep in the uncanny valley when the technology is there to avoid that.
Do we want to give the game a tier or hold off for a full tier list maybe?
Let's hold off. What do we think about Silent Hill F?
I mean, it's not a Silent Hill game, so should it even be on the tier list?
I knew you'd get on this, but it's definitely a Silent Hill game, even if it isn't in Silent Hill. Silent Hill 4 isn't in Silent Hill.
Yeah, but this is much worse of a deviation than Silent Hill 4.
I disagree with Donald too. I didn't follow much of the story and I didn't really like the quasi-otherworld portions of the game with their tediousness. But I feel a lot of the themes of guilt and forgiveness from Silent Hill 2 are present in the game.
It's giving Silent Hill 2 big time.
Okay, but why are there no guns? That's un-American.
Silent Hill is a Japanese game franchise and the game takes place in Japan. What does it matter if it's un-American?
It matters because Silent fucking Hill should fucking take place in fucking America, for fuck's sake. If they wanted to make a horror game like Silent Hill, they should have made it its own franchise instead of sucking on the teat of Mother Silent Hill.
Side games aren't a crime against humanity. And in a time when we're finally getting some content back after so many years of nothing, anything that increases brand relevance should be celebrated.
I just want a new mainline game, not a remake, not some weird Japanese shit. Give me Silent Hill 5 or like 9 or whatever.
I think it would be 8 and yeah, I want a new mainline game too. What are they waiting for?
Whatever it is with the current lineup, we'll be waiting a while, so let's learn to live with what we get.
Yeah, sure, I'll fucking make do. Nice job avoiding that dog, Joe.
Thanks, Donald. I wonder why they decided to make Harry moan in this game.
I think it's supposed to be a pant.
Like a dog? No, that's definitely a moan. He sounds just like Bill did after. Never mind.
It's very nice that everyone in this town uses the same caliber of handgun and leaves their ammo in easy-to-access places.
It's a staple in any grocery order. God, I love groceries, talking about them mostly. I think it's because I never got to go grocery shopping on account of being so rich growing up. Father said it was below us. We had a nice German woman who did all the shopping. But not a day went by that I didn't fantasize about what it was like to go to a shelf and take down a $4 cow carcass and a $100 box of Triscuits before showing my ID to the smiling cashier so that I could be legally cleared to buy the groceries and also get a haircut.
My favorite part of grocery shopping growing up was when I got to stop by the local brothel/saloon afterward to watch a gunfight and get propositioned by a woman with fewer teeth than fingers. And for the record, she didn't have all her fingers either. I miss the 1820s. The time in which I liked to pretend I was just a boy of 11, despite being 6 feet tall and having a full head of white hair.
Sometimes I wish I had friends with whom I could have normal conversations.
I wonder why Silent Hill opted for the item pickup prompt like Resident Evil, despite having no cap on inventory. It feels unnecessary.
I get what you're saying, but this was before button prompts appeared near interactable items, so what would happen if they didn't have the yes or no prompt? Would you click X near an item and it would suddenly enter your inventory without warning?
I guess that'd be weird because you'd never know what you picked up or anything. Or even if you did pick anything up, perhaps. But why not just have it say, you've picked up a first aid kit or something like that, instead of having to answer a question?
Maybe so Christian scientists who don't believe in medical care could play the game. It allowed them to not even touch any of the healing items.
Yeah, that's possible, but wouldn't a Christian scientist be reluctant to even go into the hospital?
They might not believe in medical care, but it's not like they're going to the hospital to get a CAT scan. They're just looking for their daughter. It's like there's nothing saying vegans can't walk down the meat aisle.
Vegans can't do anything with those frail bodies of theirs.
As if you're really strong and not one blood clot away from seeing if Haresh is God.
I like to roll the dice, but no one can say I didn't live.
Shut up. Let's watch the cutscene. Any second now.
Were you ringing that bell?
I've been expecting you. It was foretold by gyromancy.
She shouldn't have led with the weird religious talk. Just be like, yeah, I heard you were here looking for your daughter.
You want the girl, right?
The girl? You're talking about Cheryl.
Who do you think she's talking about? Elle Fanning? Of course it's your daughter, dumbass.
I once saw Elle Fanning outside the Gershwin Theater. I should have said hi.
You should have. She was great in daddy daycare.
Nothing is to be gained from floundering about at random.
I've always appreciated the fish word. I like a good fish word.
The path of the hermit concealed by Flauros.
What? What are you talking about?
Harry sounds like me during Joe's brain rot phase.
I still have the skibbity toilet in my house. Best $40,000 I ever spent.
It can break through the walls of darkness and counteract the wrath of the underworld.
Where the fuck did she get something like that?
Probably Costco.
Make haste to the hospital before it's too late.
Wait, don't go yet.
Dahlia Gillespie is crazy, but she is fit for her age.
She's 46.
What? Never mind then. That bitch looks like death. Is that how a 46-year-old Japanese woman looks?
I bet it's a commentary on the corruption in her soul. Or maybe the game designers never saw a woman before and just guessed.
I think it's due to her never using sunscreen.
Do you even need sunscreen in Maine?
It's always smart to put on a little whenever you leave the house.
Do you wear sunscreen, Donald?
Yeah, it's the last step of my makeup routine.
I wear makeup too. Just a little powder and some mascara to give my lashes weight.
It's been working. You have great lashes.
I've worn lipstick since 1952.
Joe, what the fuck are you doing? Get the items and get out of there.
I'm trying to enjoy the art on the walls. Someone had to work very hard on every inch of this church, and I want to admire it.
There's something to be said about all the unseen effort that goes into crafting video game locations. Normally, a gamer will only spend a cutscene and then maybe a minute after that in this church, but a whole room had to be meticulously crafted. Gaps are almost always noticed and criticized, but what fills those would-be gaps is rarely seen or praised.
It's a fucking PS1 church. Get a life.
Harry may be having a rough day, but at least he gets to enjoy this beautiful snowfall. He can gaze into each flake and ponder whether their individuality is proof of the inherent divinity in our world. There's so much beauty and majesty in all of creation.
Are you on something, Joe?
What do you mean?
You say things sometimes, and it makes me wonder. Is this a fucking long play? Why are you stopping just to get a couple of bullets?
The dog scares me.
So, should I get a fade? I'm looking at pictures of AI edits of me with a fade haircut online, and I think it's kind of fly. It's saying, Daddy B, don't play. Whereas my current haircut makes it very clear that I play.
I say pull the trigger. You only live once.
That's a good point. Donald?
Old age used to mean something in this country, yet here we are, discussing whether a hexagenarian should get a 90s haircut for an Italian child.
It's still 2-1. I'm getting the fade.
Is Super Tuesday some kind of special sale, or do we think that's the name of the business?
It's got to be a sale.
Now wait, we have to take into consideration that is an English phrase created by the non-English speaking devs of this game. Doesn't Super Tuesday seem like the kind of shit a really low-end store run by a Chinese or Middle Eastern couple would be named?
Yeah, you're right. That's how they name Chinese restaurants. Just throwing together random buzzwords. Red, white, and blue Americans know restaurants should be named something fancy like Burger Town or Taco Hotel. But a Chinese person always names their restaurants shit like Holiday Firework 5.
What is it with stores that have numbers at the end of their names like movie titles? Like I used to pass a Vietnamese restaurant that was like Taste of Saigon 3.
I know this may sound ridiculous, but what if they're taking the whole, if the Bible is so good, why isn't there a Bible 2 meme seriously? They don't quite get how numbering things in English works and assume that the higher the number, the better something is.
If that's the case, why is it always like 2 or 3 instead of 10,000?
They probably realize their food isn't that good and don't want to exaggerate that much. Ah, fuck, I forgot I can't get the rock drill on the first playthrough.
Starting a new game after playing on the same save file for years is always jarring. I must have 50 playthroughs on my main save.
No wonder you suck at this game. I have 2,728 playthroughs on mine.
You've got to be kidding me. That's insane.
Hey, I was playing Silent Hill nonstop, 18 hours a day for 3 months during the pandemic. Even saying it took 2 hours of playthrough to account for eating and pooping and stuff, that's 810 in that time alone.
Don't you play Silent Hill 3 far more than the original, though? What's your playthrough count in that?
I'm coming up on 5,000.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And I'm planning on throwing a little party to mark the occasion. There's going to be a Heather Mason cake. You guys should come and eat some, but I call the ass piece.
How many times have you played Silent Hill 2?
6-1 for each ending. No reason to play again after that.
Phew, I guess that left you some time to spend with your kids.
Don't joke like that, Barack. I'd never spend time with my kids. I see Joe once again as having a mental episode and trying to look at all the angles of this room. So I figure I should spend a few minutes talking up my GoFundMe.
You're doing a GoFundMe?
Yes, it's to fund a new production of my musical. As we know, I went broke failing to mount it the first time. For the last couple of years, I've been approaching various producers, but it has come to my attention that I've gained a reputation in the theater world as wildly unreliable and as having a voracious sexual appetite that knows no limitation in gender. That's pretty much left me with crowdfunding as my sole option. I'm looking to raise $50 million, which will still make my musical cheaper than the Spider-Man musical, where all those actors playing Spider-Man died. Any backers who invest $100,000 will get a chance to see the show opening night, and those who invest $1 million can personally kiss me, and the rest of the cast on the lips. Tongue is negotiable. If someone wants to put up the whole 50 million smackers, I'll do, honestly, anything, no limitations.
Donald, I love our audience on here, but I have a feeling none of them are able to shell out $1 million for a kiss.
I said tongue is negotiable.
Can I invest using crypto because I'm about to do a rug pull? And my coin is going to be very briefly worth a lot.
I'm going to say no. I love crypto. But most salaries in the theater world have to be paid with actual money, unfortunately.
Probably because people want to use their salaries to pay things like food and rent.
Lame. They should use them on figurines from Yuri Anime. Finally, we've reached the hospital. You're really dragging this playthrough out slug style, aren't you, Joe?
Only a slave measures his life by productivity.
I have to agree with Donald. Let's say that we'll stop once you reach the other side of the hospital.
Barack, with how Joe is playing, that might be another 15 years.
Now, I'll pull some 6-speed running strats this time, just you watch.
Barack, I think Joe has genuinely lost his mind. He's staring at walls again.
I thought there might be a glitch there that allows me to bypass the hospital section or something.
I love this cutscene. Dr. Kaufman is aura farming so hard. This shit should be on the cover of a drill rap album.
I've always wondered why Harry isn't more concerned to see Dr. Kaufman strapped with a dead monster at his feet. But I guess it's no different than what Harry is doing himself.
Nice, a brief shot of Dr. Kaufman's ass. Someone screen capped that.
I have a whole folder of video game asses from Rutgers, remember?
Yeah, I remember that. That was a weird class for Rutgers to offer.
How else are game designers supposed to learn how to model 3D asses?
Speaking of your game design career, how is your hentai visual novel coming along, Barack?
It's not good. AI-generated art is destroying the visual novel industry. I just can't pump out tasteful nudes in the same amount of time that all these slop games can.
Well, visual novels are more than just art. Story is very important too, and I've yet to see AI really capture good erotic writing. It all feels like it's been scraped from a 12-year-old's Wattpad account. What's the story of your game?
I've bounced around a lot of ideas, but I've settled on a retelling of my days in Honolulu and all the women who wanted me in those days. And there were a lot. I'm talking a line around the block. This game, if nothing else, will definitely set a record for the highest number of waifus.
Good. I see you're going for the quantity over quality method. Works every time.
How old is your main character?
12, the same age I was when it all happened.
And how old are these women?
They range from 16 to mid-40s.
Oh God, Barack, no wonder your sense of right and wrong is so skewed. I never knew you were a victim of such a horrific series of crimes.
Crimes? Nah, I was just a G.
Sure, buddy, sure. You can come to terms with it in your own time.
7. Short, black hair.
We've really talked through like this whole cutscene, haven't we?
It's mostly yapping. Harry is obsessed with finding his daughter. Get a hobby, pal.
I swear Dr. Kaufman pauses for a full minute there.
He's checking his matches on Grindr.
Grindr doesn't really use matches.
How do you, whatever.
She died 4 years ago. Now it's just me and my daughter.
Way to trauma dump. That's like when you're at a restaurant and the waiter starts crying about how they'll be homeless because you gave them a negative tip.
You can actually do the negative tip thing? I thought it was made up.
So is money. It's all just random numbers. Put -5 on the tip line and do the math. Like there isn't a law about any of that.
You know what song this music reminds me of?
What?
Where Are You Christmas from the Grinch movie.
I don't see any connection musically between the two.
It just gives off a Christmassy vibe. Anytime I hear this music, I want to roast some chestnuts and open presents from Santa.
I think it might be the little clangs in the background. Are they finger cymbals? Whatever they are, I can see how you might think they sound a bit like sleigh bells.
Finger cymbals give off more of an oriental vibe than a Christmas one. If you said the music reminded you of buying bootleg DVDs in a bazaar, I could see it, but I'm not buying the Christmas connection.
We should watch The Grinch after this.
Yeah, sure.
I'm starting to see the weirdness in Joe getting angles of every single room.
Lay the fuck off me, you two. Who knows when you'll want to have angles of all these rooms for video editing or something. Like maybe you want to have a wide shot of the hospital room so you can edit a picture of yourself in there and pretend you're in Silent Hill. And you can say, oh no, how will I save my daughter?
I don't know how to argue against a point so strange.
I can see why you'd want to do that. Back in my archive of our own days, I wrote a ton of reader insert fanfics for these games, as well as the Resident Evil series. And it would have been cool to edit myself into some of the scenes in order to really get some immersion.
Let me guess one of these fanfics. There was probably one where you and Sybil are trapped in the hospital, and you're both convinced this is the end, so you engage in strange and depraved carnal lust in the creepy basement room where they kept Alessa while the zombie nurses watch from the doorway. A detail that you claim is just about story accuracy, but in reality it was an integral part of your fantasy.
Donald, have you, found my archive of our own account?
No, of course not. What makes you think that? I'll guess another plot. There has to be one where you meet an adult version of Alessa in a dream sequence, and she tells you that she has longed for the touch of a man, and that you are the only one around who would possibly be capable of fulfilling her needs. You maybe resist at first, playing the gentleman, but you give in eventually, knowing that it is your duty to help this poor woman who has suffered so much pain in her short life.
Donald, don't fuck with me. How much have you seen?
I truly am just guessing these things. I'll also guess that you've used some, shall we say, non-traditional tags. One of your stories perhaps has a Cheryl slash...
Oh, fuck no. Don't mention the Cheryl slash Heather story.
The what story?
Guys, you have to know that archive of our own is a safe place. It's not meant to be real, and it's a haven for people during the darkest times in their lives. There was a period when I believed Michelle was having an affair, and I processed those feelings in very private ways.
You processed them all over the World Wide Web, in addition to some Kleenexes, I'm sure.
I'll delete the stories when I get home.
Good idea. Let's hope no one has downloaded copies.
Moving on. I don't think enough can ever be said about how deeply weird it is that the game designers expected Harry to think he needed a red liquid on the floor. Who would ever see a broken glass bottle and feel an urge to put the little bit of liquid they could into a bottle?
If you're asking for an actual answer, that sounds like something Todd would do.
Todd would definitely do that. He has a messed up mind. I'm glad I'm nothing like that. It must be a hard life to live to know you are so mentally disconnected from the norm and may never be able to understand or be understood by other people.
Yeah, if you were like that, which you very obviously aren't, it might be for the best for you to think that you aren't that way. Just for your own well-being, you know? Now, how about you get some fun angles of more rooms, buddy?
Thanks for the suggestion, Barack. I may do just that.
That was a fun angle of the stairs, Joe. You're really living life to the fullest.
Wow, you two are being so nice to me. It makes me very happy.
It's probably an issue that this hospital keeps the generator, which apparently powers the intensive care unit and operating rooms, in an unlocked room in the basement where anyone can kind of just turn it off. Like, there's a key to the basement, but when the elevator's working, you can just take it down there without issue. I wonder how many people have suffered horrible complications because they've had a prankster turn off the electricity powering their ventilator.
Quite a few, I'm guessing. But talk about an amazing prank. I've pulled off some great pranks in my day, but turning off the equipment prolonging one's life has never even come into my mind. It's the kind of hilarious thing the pros, and by the pros I mean the Impractical Jokers, would do in like a season finale episode.
I once saw the Impractical Jokers live. It was in Florida. I fell asleep during a Billy Joel concert and woke up 2 weeks later covered in moss, watching the Impractical Jokers dare themselves to kiss each other. It was a magical evening.
Wow.
Okay, it looks like we're nearing the end for today. Thank you everyone for watching, and maybe we'll keep going with this in the future.
At this rate, Joe should be able to finish the game in 20 or 30 parts.
Nah, I could do it in 5 probably, maybe 6 if I go hog wild on getting good angles of every room.
Hey, it's more content for us to monetize, so take it as slow as possible, Joe.
Barack, have you ever done a 23andMe test? I have a theory about your ancestry which I want to see about.
I think I know what that theory is, and I want to thank you for being cautious in your wording. You never know who's watching.
Yes, your people may be watching, mightn't they?
They very well might. Okay, it looks like we've reached the other side of the hospital, so once again, thanks everyone, and see you next time.